After the mutants of the newly formed Krakoa reject Apocalypse's offer to lead them into the new mutantdom, Apocalypse decides to select an heir for planet Earth because he is on Araco and he plans to continue his legacy there. So he goes to his two most favored heralds, his two most favored horsemen in Sunfire and Angel or Archangel Warren Worthington. He lures the both of them to a designated area with the oldest trick in the book. When you want to get someone there, you have the other person think that the other person invited them. And when they both arrive, they're kind of confused as to why they invited them there. Once they realize neither invited themselves there and it was Apocalypse that showed up, he again makes the offer to them and he explains to them, he appeals to them that this position is necessary on planet Earth as he's going to be away in Araco. And Sunfire respectfully kind of declines Apocalypse, basically says he has a higher calling now, but Archangel, and rightfully so, is pissed. He is angered and raged that Apocalypse would even have the gall, the audacity to call them there under these terms, under this, like they're friends, right, when they're not. But Apocalypse is simply what he always has been, Apocalypse, right? Pretty much emotionless, if you will. But Warren Worthington doesn't forget. And Apocalypse is doing what he does because it needs to be done. And coming from Archangel's point of view, it did not. So Archangel, of course, emphatically declines. They both do. And as Archangel parts, he basically says that he's now not going to let Apocalypse create another mutant in his image. So this could be some kind of foreshadowing. Maybe Apocalypse and Archangel are going to have another battle because Archangel is going to get involved. So now that Apocalypse has been denied twice, once by the mutants of the newly formed Krakoa and his two favorite heralds, he now decides to host a game in which he will select 12 mutants to contest for the rightful spot to become his heir on planet Earth. Those 12 mutants are Armageddon Girl, Cable, Cypher, Emma Frost, Exodus, Forge, the Gorgon, Mr. Sinister, Mirage, Penance, Richter, and Wolverine, Laura Kinney. Now, of these 12, Richter and Armageddon Girl believe that it is their right. They believe that they have the entitlement, if you will, to have this position. And so basically, Richter, he is a student of Apocalypse on Araco. They shared some things, and Apocalypse was a mentor to Richter. And Armageddon Girl, with her unique set of abilities and her mindset, she believes that she's also a shoo-in for this role. Cable, we know Cable's history with Apocalypse. He's mainly there to kind of keep checks and balances. Mr. Sinister, we don't know why the hell he's there. Laura Kinney, Wolverine, she was approached in addition to Sync and Magic. Apocalypse admired Sync and Magic's fight and their courage to defend Krakoa, and so he selected them, but Sync and Magic declined. They wanted to kind of take a little break, but Laura Kinney, she's a Wolverine, so she's always up for a fight. Exodus, he doesn't even understand really what's going on, but he's more of a religious zealot, so he's kind of also fitting or appropriate for this role as well. But initially, whether these 12 are all in groups, Exodus is the only one that's by himself, I believe. They're all going to endure a set of preliminary trials that serve as a primer for the games coming up. And basically, they all battle through a number of things. Richter and Mirage go through kind of a quicksand trial. Exodus basically defeats a number of barrage of arrows. Some of them face off against mummies and skeletons and things like that. And they battle their way to the center chamber. When they get there, an image of the head of Apocalypse appears as a hologram, kind of like Zordon from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and he basically discloses the rules of the contest and why they're there. Everyone is shocked when Apocalypse reveals that basically not everyone's going to survive, and he's there to select an heir. Now, before he can formally begin the games and say, may the odds ever be in their favor, there's a ruckus coming from outside, and because there's a tour, they're in Egypt, and I believe there are tourists going around, sightseeing, taking pictures, adding things to their Instagram story and whatnot. Meanwhile, inside of this tomb, there is, the fate of their planet is being decided by who's going to be the next heir of Apocalypse. Little do they know, right? Ignorance is bliss. So it is none other than Genocide, one of Apocalypse's children, who so appropriately in this kind of plot and story, basically he was not selected to be one of his father's contestants to be the heir, and he is disgruntled and he wants to go ahead and take that up and the only way that he knows how, and that's raising hell. So Exodus and the rest of the contestants basically don't know if this is a part of the trial. Is it a test? Is it not? Either way, they're going to do what they've always done and answer the call. Many of them are heroes, minus Mr. Sinister, of course. And so they're basically going to answer the call, and they're going to address and go out and confront and battle genocide.